About 3 or 4 months ago, this Flashback to Radiator Springs 3-pack was found in Australia for the very first time at Toys R Us stores. Now, this came as a huge surprise to most collectors because it includes the first ever re-release of Derek Decals Dobbs. He was only previously available in the 2010 Final Lap collection as a single, but he has become very, very rare. One of the hardest to get Final Lap singles nowadays. He typically goes for around $40 to $50 on eBay, but fortunately, I was able to get this one in the package for about $30 a few weeks ago. Now, will this new release of Derek in the 3-pack devalue the 2010 single? Well, it very well could. However, this 3-pack has only been found in Australia and Canada so far. It hasn't even been found in the United States yet or anywhere in Europe to my knowledge. So we really have no clue if this 3-pack will ever hit the United States or anywhere else besides Canada and Australia, and if it doesn't, then no. I don't think the single will be devalued at all. I feel like both the single and this 3-pack will be very, very rare in the future. Now, if this release does hit the United States, then absolutely yes. The single will go down in value exponentially because no one will want to buy the single that costs $50 anymore when they can just go to Toys R Us and buy the 3-pack for $15. So that's just my personal opinion about this 3-pack. I may be entirely wrong, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And without any more talk, let's get on with the review of this Flashback to Radiator Springs 3-pack. Now, this set is a part of the Radiator Springs Classic line exclusive to Toys R Us, so wherever you live in the world, you'll only be able to find this at Toys R Us stores. And as you can see, it has the typical Radiator Springs Classic design on the package, with a bunch of postcards and bumper stickers over here on the right, and a Radiator Springs postcard there on the left side. Now, they actually are not using this design anymore. On their new releases, they're actually going to have a design that looks a little bit more like this, with a Radiator Springs Classic billboard and more of a bluish design. It's much more modern looking. There's quite a bit of a controversy over which design was better. I personally like them both, but I have to say the new modern design looks pretty sweet. Now, since I got this from a great friend of mine who lives in Canada, it does have multiple languages on the package. As you can see, Flashback to Radiator Springs, Souvenir de Radiator Springs, and Recordando Radiator Springs. The top one's obviously English, the middle one I believe is French, and the bottom one is Spanish. Recordando actually means remembering, so remembering Radiator Springs, not exact to Flashback to Radiator Springs, but very similar. And on the bottom it says gift pack, coffret. I definitely pronounced that wrong, but I don't know much French at all. And then super pack, I believe it is English, French, and then Spanish. I know super pack does sound very, very English, but the way Spanish say some things that aren't necessarily original to their language, it's very, very similar to the way Americans or English speaking people pronounce it in their language. On the back here we can see Hank Halloween Murphy. It only has one language for him because it doesn't convert to anything else. Derek Decals Dobbs. Now this one has a different pronunciation because decals is obviously a real word and not a name, so it has it there in some other language. I have no idea. Derek Klepper Dobbs, that's pretty interesting. Now, I have to say Sheriff here is probably my favorite. Now, Sheriff is obviously another real word because you can be the sheriff of a town. It's not actually, I mean, it is his real name, but it's also his title. So we have the English there, Sheriff, Shakrafifo, and then my favorite is Zarif. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I have no clue what language that is, but I always love checking out the international packaging because it's so interesting. I mean, on the back here, we even have more languages of Flashback to Radiator Springs. Flashback, Radiator Springs. Flashback, Radiator. Well, that's not even Radiator Springs, that's Radiator Springs. That might be Portuguese, I'm not entirely sure. Benvenuti a Radiator Springs. Yeah, I mean, this is just pretty funny. And on the bottom here, there's a bunch of other languages as well. And there's a nice picture of Sarge and Fillmore in the background who aren't even in the set, and Hank Halloween Murphy. So it's kind of ironic that Hank is the only one that's in this set that actually has the picture on here, but none of these actually really appeared together in the movie. They obviously appeared in the flashback scene when McQueen and Sally took the drive up to Wheelwell Motel, and then they were reminiscing on the past, and these all appeared individually, or separately I should say, but they did all appear in the flashback scene. I have to say though, this would have been a perfect opportunity to release Percy Handbrakes, who's a cancelled release from 2010. No clue why they haven't done so yet, maybe because quality issues and whatnot. I mean, that's the main reason for why a lot of the canceled cars got canceled. Now, one more thing before we check out these cars out of the package, I want to show you another pack that has yet to hit the United States as well. This one is called Welcome to Radiator Springs, and it includes Ramone, Minnie, and Van. Also got this from my friend in Canada, so I will be reviewing this soon. I just thought that the Derek Decals Dobbs pack would be a little bit more interesting. Now, I didn't open up the 3-pack because I already have all 3 cars loose from their previous releases. So let's get started here with Sheriff. He has been released countless times over the past 10 years, starting in 2006. I actually have that release in the package. Very, very nice. A huge image for the card art. Always love to see that. And his most recent release was in the 2016 Sheriff's Impound Lot series. He's number 5 out of 6 in the series. The other 5 cars being all 4 tuners and Bessie. And now let's get on to Sheriff himself. He's a pretty cool character, one of the main characters, obviously, the police car of Radiator Springs. Now, this one here that I have loose is from the Radiator Springs Friends gift pack exclusive to Target. If you'd like to see my review of that, the link will be down below. And as you can see, his eyes are a little messed up. They're off center, which is very, very strange. This one on the left here is a little bit higher than the one on the right, making him a little odd looking, I guess you could say. But he does have this silver grill up here, which is supposed to represent a mustache. Nice black glossy paint, white wall tires, Sheriff written on the side there, and he's got the Radiator Springs badge. Unfortunately though, the regular release of Sheriff does not have the curb feelers or antennas like he does have in the movie, but the Precision Series version of Sheriff does have the antennas. Unfortunately though, no curb feelers still. I don't know if there ever will be a release of Sheriff that has the curb feelers, unfortunately. He does have his siren and lights there on the top. On the back, some more lights. Sheriff written out. On the trunk handle, it reads Mercury, and I do believe Sheriff is based on a 1949 Mercury police cruiser, so that's pretty cool. And his license plate number reads 001. Above the number, it says carburetor, and below it, it says county, which is the county Radiator Springs is placed in. Now, I find it very, very interesting that his license plate is 001 and Red's license plate is 002. It actually makes sense because they both are the protection or service for Radiator Springs, because obviously Red is the fire truck and Sheriff is the police car. So that really is all for Sheriff. Here's the base if anyone is interested. Just a bunch of legal jargon here, date stamps and whatnot. There are the rivets, obviously. Nothing too exciting really on the back of him, but still a very, very nice character. And I feel like he gets overlooked because he is just one of the main characters. Now let's move on to Hank Halloween Murphy. He was originally released in the 2009 Race-O-Rama collection. I actually have that one in the package as well. Then he was re-released in the 2013 Retro Radiator Springs series. Unfortunately, I do not have that one. That one has become pretty rare nowadays. There's like one listing for it on eBay from the United States that goes for like $15. The rest of them are like $40 or above that. So I don't know why, but that release from 2013 is pretty rare. Hopefully I can get one day though. Now, I absolutely love Hank's colors. They're obviously your typical Halloween colors, orange and black. And that's why his nickname is Halloween. Very, very fitting for him. He has a hood ornament on his hood there. Pretty cool. On the side here, I don't really know how to describe these holes right there. As I've said in some previous videos, I'm very, very knowledgeable about Disney cars, but when it comes to real life cars, I am very, very clueless. So maybe some sort of exhaust or venting system? I really have no clue. Sorry, guys. He has some nice black wall tires, but with white rim lines, I guess you could say. His rims are actually orange with a silver hubcap, though. Very, very nice design. On the back here, he's got some awesome tail fins. Very, very nice. They're beautiful. I love these types of tail fins in the back. They're also on Derek, and his are my favorite, but I have to say Hank's are very, very cool as well with the bubble lights here in the back. They just look phenomenal. He's got a spare tire back here as well. His license plate reads S962. The text above it is too small to read, unfortunately. Probably says something about Radiator Springs, though, because he probably used to live in Radiator Springs. So he's really cool. I have to say, one of my favorite Flashback cars, I remember when I got this guy back in 2009, he was like always one of my favorite cars. I just love the colors on him. Now let's move on to Derek Decals Dobbs. He's actually my favorite in the set and probably is mostly everyone's favorite because obviously he's very, very rare nowadays and rare cars tend to be the favorites. His colors, in my opinion at least, are also very, very nice. Just a little bit better than Hank's. I just love this deep turquoise color, and I guess you can say a whitish beige color on the side here that leads to his tail fins in the back. He's got a wonderful expression looking off to his left. Very accurate to the movie when he's driving down the street and kind of looks at the car driving on the opposite lane there. Very, very nice. I kind of feel like his colors aren't exactly accurate to the movie. They look a little bit greener in the movie. So I'm not really sure what to say about that because I love the colors on the diecast, but I don't know if it's necessarily accurate to the movie. And I'm all about accurateness, so I don't know. It's kind of another one of those situations with Holly Schiffel with Taser and Outback Mal's Axelrod. I love their new colors, but is it really accurate? Who knows? But let's just get back to Derek here. He also has a grill. Hank does as well, just so you guys know, which they are supposed to represent mustaches in the Cars universe. Very, very nice. Now, one of my favorite things I've always liked about Derek here is that he has a chrome bumper in the front here. Just looks amazing. Timothy Time Zone Truecoat also has chrome bumpers, and we'll get to him in a second here, but I just love how shiny it is. I've always just been so fascinated about that. His tires are also very, very cool. Not really white walls. I guess they are technically classified as white walls, but they look a little dirtier. I mean, I know they aren't dirty, but they look darker and a little bit faded, I guess you could say. He's got a turquoise rim going around the silver hubcap there. Very similar to Hank Halloween's rims, I guess you could say, with the orange rims and then the silver hubcap. Although Hank does not have white wall tires. He's got this white stripe leading into the tail fins back there. Now, his lights are kind of more spiky, I guess. I mean, don't really know how to describe it, but Hank's are definitely more circular, and Derek's are a little bit more triangular-ish, I guess. I don't know how to describe this. Again, I really do not know how to describe real-life aspects of cars, but I'm just going to say we have spiky lights and we have circular lights. put it into simplest terms for these videos here. Now, just like Hank, he does have a spare tire in the back. His license plate is unfortunately exactly the same. 6962, or S962, my bad. Unfortunately, though, yes, their license plate numbers are the same. And it's very surprising, actually, because usually when Mattel puts the same license plate numbers on the same cars, not the same cars, on different cars, they're the same color and whatnot. But as you can see, Hank's license plate is white with orange text, and Derek's is black with white text. So they went to the effort to change the colors, but they just couldn't change the number. I mean, come on, Mattel. I know I talk about this a lot, but it really is a terrible issue that they do quite a bit, unfortunately. He's got the chrome bumper in the back here as well. Not gonna let it show my face, sorry guys. Not ready for a face reveal just yet on my channel. I know some of you guys have been asking for that, but I'm just not really ready yet. Here's the base if you guys were wondering. There's the date stamp right there. This is the 2010 release, just so you guys know. Here's Hank's base 2009 release. I did get him when he came out. Same with Derek. I actually believe I bought Derek online, and then the same day I found him at Target. What an agonizing experience. I hate when that happens. Now, let's compare these two flashback cars, as collectors call them, the cars that appeared in the flashback scene exclusively, to some other flashback cars. Greta was actually one of the first flashback cars to be released. Edwin Cranks was actually the very first to be released. Now, all of the flashback cars are different models except for Edwin Cranks and Milton Calipier. Although Greta and Hank here are very, very similar. You can see that Greta doesn't have much detailing on the side in metal lining and stuff. The tail fins also aren't as detailed. So that's one of the reasons why Hank is one of my favorite flashback cars. We also have Timothy two-stroke over here. He's got chrome bumpers. Hank unfortunately does not. Timothy actually has double tail fins in the back. Very, very nice. I love that about him. And looks to be like it was a style or a trend back in the day where Radiator Springs was in its heyday to have black tires with white lines going around them, and then having the color that's on your main body being the trim color, and then a silver hubcap, because that's the trend on Timothy, Hank, and now Derek has white walls, but the hubcap design is very similar to the other ones. Now Timothy looks very, very nice next to Derek here. Both of them do have the chrome bumpers. Just fantastic releases. Some of my favorite cars from the first movie did appear in this scene, and I just wish they released more. Mildred Bylane and Percy Handbrakes were both canceled in 2010 from the flashback scene. Mildred did get released in 2013. I'll be reviewing her in an upcoming suggestion video, and unfortunately Percy Handbrakes is still unreleased along with a lot of other cars. I actually compiled a list of all the canceled cars the other day because a viewer asked me all the canceled cars, and it turned into like this half-an-hour thing of me searching the internet for all the canceled cars, but it's no big deal. It was actually very useful. I'm glad that that viewer asked me that question because there is actually not a list of all the canceled cars, so very, very useful. So that's really it for these two and Sheriff. I think this 3-pack's amazing. I really do hope that it hits the United States for those collectors who do not have Derek or Hank. I know probably everyone is Sheriff if they want Sheriff, because he is pretty easy to find. I see a bunch at Target and Walmart. And Hank, he's a little bit harder to get, but his 2009 release is not as hard to get as the 2013 release. And Derek, like I've said in the beginning of the video, is very, very hard to find nowadays. Let me know what one of these cars is your favorite. I know Sheriff's probably not your favorite, but between Hank and Derek, which one's your favorite? Hank is mine. Actually, cut that. Derek is my favorite. I don't know why I said Hank. They're very, very nice though, both of them. Now, to end off the video, I just wanted to say Olympics. Yes, that's happening today. So I may do a special. I don't really know if I'm going to or not. I think it'd be pretty cool because this only happens every 4 years. The Summer Olympics, that is. So I might do a special. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. I probably would show all of the Brazilian related cars or cars that have Brazilian colors. A viewer of mine actually suggested that, so all the credit will go to him if I do make the video. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a birthday request. See you guys then. Bye now. Driving on the side of the road and excuse me. Whoa! Sorry about that, guys. I held in a cough there. Hopefully you guys can understand, but he was driving on the side of the road here, and he looked